Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today I'll be reviewing the ScreenBar e-reading lamp. Now this will mount on a 1 centimeter to 3 centimeter monitor, and I'm going to show you that it can work on a laptop too today, but you can do it on a monitor. I first tested it on my desktop monitor. It is a thing of beauty. It is no reflection. The way it works, pretty crazy. We'll get into it. I'll show you what's in this box. It's right over here, so let's take a little gander. Now first off, you get the mounting bracket, and the little tube barrel LED light will mount right here, and this will sit right behind your screen like so, holding up the lamp, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But this does have some heft to it. It's counterweighted with this balance here. It's rubber protected right here for your screen, and that 1 to 3 centimeter gap comes in handy right here, or it kicks this down too much or up too much and stuff like that if you got too big or too small. But if you have too small, you can just stick a little something right here that causes this to kick this forward and shines correctly down, which is what we'll be doing today. And you do get the flat, which I love these flat cables, but the flat micro USB cable, which is fairly long, it feels like 3 or 4 feet or so, to connect this to your USB. And you can also use an external battery pack with it, but just make sure it's 5 volts and 1 amp of power at least to power the LED light. It doesn't take hardly any power to use this. And last but not least, we're left with the bar itself. This is a machined piece of beauty. Such a great, smart idea. I love this, okay? Let me try to go into as much detail as I possibly can. They eliminate these blue harsh colors, and they're certified by doing so in their LED structure here. And the quality of LEDs is the key to stuff like this, because whenever you're getting 5.5 to 6 hours of light, you want 500 lux at least brightness level for you to I guess maintain your sanity when you're working indoors under lighting. And lighting is such a key to efficiency, and you can control your efficiency with this guy, because you can go super warm. I think it's 2700 Kelvin all the way to 6500 Kelvin, which is bright, and that builds efficiency and energy. That really true daylight color really builds that energy. And if you need to give your eyes an anti-fatigue, a little break, knock the warmth down, bottom that out, and it really does relax the eyes. I work under lights and stuff all the time, and sometimes I need that break, and I'll knock some warmth, or put some warmth back into some stuff, and that really helps with anti-eye fatigue stuff. And this is also, you will not have any flicker in these LEDs. They are flicker free. Here's your brightness control, your temperature control with a little temperature gauge. And up here is your light sensor. Let me reflect that there. Right there, here's your eye sensor, a little light, a little camera looking thing that looks up to the sky and make sure it can auto adjust to you, for you to have the absolute correct brightness for you to work in, which is genius. And on the other side of this touch panel piece across the center is this little square thing right there, this little sensor button right there. You touch that, and what that is after you manually adjust brightness, say you don't want it to be the perfect brightness, say you want to knock a little dim into it, you want to brighten something up, you can tap that again and it will go off the sensor and auto adjust itself back again, which is a really cool feature. And then we just have the power on and off button right there. And on the back, this is where your micro USB will go, and I'll show you how this snaps into the little bracket that holds it, and we'll put it all together on the back of my little monitor here. But first, let's show you how these are scattered out, how this works. Okay, if you can, we're going to try to see the whole LED lineup through here. See all those LEDs, and it reflects, I don't know if you can see this, off of this, and cast straight down. And this line across here casts a permanent, really harsh shadow line that doesn't allow it to reflect off of your screen. And a monitor sits up on top of a stand, and that allows it to not reflect your keyboards that are lit up. So you do not see light reflection at all off your standard monitor. Now we'll be using a laptop today, and you can barely see a little bit of my reflection from the keyboard. It doesn't bother me because my laptop gets bright enough to where I can edit and work off of it, which I have been doing for about a week, and I don't have a problem with it. But the monitor, when I tested it on my monitor, no reflection, nothing off keyboards or anything, because you do have that gap between keyboard and monitor. This will accommodate to any size monitor. It doesn't matter. It can be a smaller monitor than this. It can be a larger monitor than this. It casts out the ultimate light spread down below to where your keyboard and stuff like that is, and your whole work area. You should accommodate elbow to elbow kind of space like that, and that's all you need. So you can be kind of a totally dark area, and if you wanted, and just have this on if you're working at night, and it will illuminate everything, your total workspace. It's great, and you don't have to like screw, bolt, mount, and buy really super expensive lights, because desk lamps, whenever you start diving into pro grade LEDs and stuff like that for anti-fatiguing and eye fatigue and stuff like that, your price goes up. So this being as portable as what it is, and you can use it kind of across the spectrum. All right, so here is the mounting bracket that mounts to the back. It's fairly weighted down here. You'll see this opening right there, and this is where the micro USB opening on the back of the lamp itself will go to allow you to run the cord, which is a flat cord right down the back. So it's good they include that flat cord so it'll lay nice and flat up against this bracket. But to mount this, all I've been doing is sticking, of course, the USB into the opening there and pivoting and rolling that back into place, and you'll feel it snap in there like so. And there it is. It's mounted with the opening exposed right there for your micro USB. There we go, and you can see how that just runs nice and flat up against the bracket down the back side there. If you wanted to get super weird and crazy about it, I guess you could stick a rubber band around this or something, and it will hold it nice and snug up against that. And this automatically has like this spring tension thing to it to keep the weight pressed up against the monitor in the back. All you really have to do is just sit it on and really just forget it. So now we're going to go through all the controls across the top of the lamp bar itself, starting with the power button because it's off. So you just touch that. Everything's touch sensitive. It goes back to where it was set before, which is really cool. And if I wanted to, I could touch the auto, and it's going to automatically handle the lighting for me based on my environment and where it thinks it needs to be, which is really cool. That is where the technology pours into this device, is being able to use and utilize that sensor for the betterment of your vision and your tolerance of light. I mean, I'm obsessed with LED light. That's where I got my start, kind of my foot in the door with product reviews. Did a lot of product reviews for Amazon. I've plowed through so many LEDs, lamps and stuff that's supposed to help with your workflow and things of that nature. But this, honest to God, this has been the best experience for actually really relieving fatigue through working underneath light. So my hat's completely off to BenQ. I do highly recommend this, but let's continue on through the scope of things. And like I said, the power is there. And you see that boom, boom, brightness up and down. It's auto configuring, and I can always touch this button and get it to do that, to get it to go back and look and diagnose the surroundings and go, boom, this is your perfect light. But here is the brightness. I want to manually adjust brightness. I just hold it down, and it works its way all the way down to its lowest brightness setting, holding it all the way back up again. And I want to change my temperature. I just hold the temp, and it's changed to 6700 Kelvin. And this really gives you that energy, that burst of energy. But sometimes you're just fatigued and you're tired, and you want to go down to 2700 Kelvin. And there you go. And now you kind of have this yellowy light, but it really relaxes the eyes, and you can, honest to God, feel the missing blue, that harsh, terrible blue stuff that's embedded in these cheap LEDs that are everywhere. And this is just soothing. I'll keep saying that over and over because it's so true. And then here's your light sensor across the top. And so you want to gain that auto feature again, you just tap and it'll automatically adjust everything. The lightness, the temperature, all that stuff to give you exactly what you need. Because we're going to raise this, we didn't adjust the brightness, we're just going to raise that color temp up to 6700 Kelvin, and then we'll tap this again and we'll see it diagnose the surroundings and give us a perfect light. Now that is perfect because I'm seeing my exact skin tone through that light. I mean, I'm seeing exactly what I should be seeing in a relaxing state. And that's beautiful. This is a beautiful light. So excited about the light, it's crazy. Let's talk about this reflection. Now we've got the perfect light set up here. Let's kind of put it at eye level of what you would see working just like this. And then this is your workflow, this is your workspace. And you see my hands come in from reflection. I'll power this off. You can still see my hands. You see how reflective that is? The lamp is off. Lamp is on. And it auto adjusts when it came back on. And you can see my reflection. Now let's turn the power back off again. And you still sort of see my reflection there. So this is a reflective screen. This is a laptop. It can work on a laptop, but if you imagine this pulled up, this lifted up on a bracket, on a mounted bracket like a monitor would be, there is no reflection based on this light from this light, which is cool. And you do have a little bit of play. You can rock this inside it, the bracket, just a little bit. There's a couple clicks areas there where you can project this lamp out like so, if you wanted to, and roll it back like that. But you see at its farthest point, roll back in the up against to light up your complete area, it will not touch the screen. It's stopped perfect right there in front of the screen, which is cool. Like I said, you can rock your shadow that way. So if your keyboard is away from the monitor a little bit, which of course it's not going to be right up against the monitor, it's going to be more like out here. So now you've got more of an illuminated area, and your line of sight is not in this zone at all like that. But you can't see any of the LED lights looking at the monitor, which is phenomenal. Now I'm going to show you the LEDs, and what we're going to be looking for is flicker. I'm going to go through all the temperature scales. I'm doing that now. I'm going to the 6700 all the way down to the 2700, and we're looking for flicker. These are some really good high quality LEDs, I can tell. And now we're going to go through the brightness, going all the way to dim, I do believe. Back, no, now we're going dim. You can see it pops its way down. There it's at its dimmest state, and a lot of times you'll see flicker at its dim, at the dimmest level on some lights. So let's go change the temperature now. We're still looking for flicker, and now we'll increase that brightness back up. Okay, those thumps are it moving all the way up and stops, and we'll see if we see flicker. Now my laptop screen is a little thinner than what they want you to go, so the remedy for it is I just stick a piece of something right behind it like so, and it kicks it to the right width that it can tolerate, and that line is so perfect. It's freaky. So let's just take a look at the light spread. We'll use this little white sheet here to show you that there is the shadow line going straight down and not touching the screen, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's perfect. And then you can see your spread coming out and going out to your entire workspace of what you would have at a desk. And then you could see this keep illuminating off to the side to where it kind of stops there. So I'm guessing you've got about a 5 foot space, 5 feet of space left and right. And it looks like you can get by with about 4 feet out in front of the lamp. And here is an above the ground shot of the light spread itself. You do get good distance out to the sides. And then here in front, it trails off and kind of stops right there about where your desk would end. And this is the perfect workspace area right in here. So it's pitch black in here, and that's what it looks like illuminated. And I promise, with it being pitch black and dark like this, I can still work on my laptop. I see a little bit of my fingers coming through and a little bit of the keyboard reflection, but I have a super reflective screen on this laptop. But I can still function, I can still do it. It would be the same on any light source outside. It reflects, I'm used to it. I can just turn my brightness all the way up and work. And really, once I get down to it and I tilt the screen back a little bit, I barely see my fingers in the bottom of the screen at a working head level space. So that's very awesome. So this has been the BenQ ScreenBar e-reading lamp. I love this thing. I will probably, honest to God, use this for the rest of my life on some screens and stuff like that at home, because it just makes the workflow so much easier. And really, you don't have to spend a lot of money on lighting. Like, I've gone through and I've lit my entire home at about, I don't know, 5,500 to 6,500, something like that, Kelvin temperature, daylight, to replicate daylight through the entire home. And that's just to make it film friendly for me. So no matter what room I'm in, I don't have to worry about the lighting temp, and my camera stays set up exactly the same all the time. And plus, the energy that you gain for me for reproducing that daylight is nice. And my TV is set to cinema. I know I'm going into way too much detail, but my TV is set to cinema. So at night, whenever I asked Alexa to dim my lights down to 20% or 30%, I've got cinema on, which kind of is a warm kind of light, so I can watch TV and give my eyes a nice break and completely relax. And lighting is a key to so much whenever you're working indoors. And when you're not working indoors, you don't realize how much time you spend inside. Even though you may think you're an outdoorsy type person, you spend a lot of time inside. So you deserve to treat yourself appropriately with your lighting. Lighting is the key to not giving yourself this stupid fatigue that I used to have in high school growing up. I knew I was drugged down and beat down by the lights in school. I was just super tired after being there a while. And that is why. Your lighting is the key. Anyway, I'll leave a link down below to the absolute cheapest price that this will be at. And I highly recommend that if you have a workspace, if you have a monitor, if you have a laptop, and you actively work on your computer, that this will make your life better while you're there. So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that dong so that you get notified on the next cool tech that I give you. This has been one of my favorite items to showcase and to kind of go, this exists and this will better your life. So definitely just give it a shot, check it out. If you don't like it, I'm sure you can return it or something, but I don't think you will not like it. You'll love it. See ya.